Well, let's get started with episode 300. Tres Honduros. I have no idea what it is in Spanish.
Yeah, that's
Like,
yep, that's exactly that. It's
it's
exactly
definitely
that.
not Honduras because that's too much like Honduras. So I have no idea what it is. But I will say 300 episodes is nothing to, what's the word? What's the phrase? Nothing to
Sneeze
sneeze at?
at,
No. What
sneeze at.
is that it? Yeah, maybe.
That
Anyway, it's a
that
big
is a
deal, man. We've
saying.
been we've been doing this for a long time, and actually, you and I go back before 300 when we had a
Hmm.
different podcast that we were running, and we renamed it, redubbed it, kind of gave it a relaunch. Honestly, even like a re-centering of what it was we were talking about. Mainly in about the three consoles and focusing in on everything from news to which consoles or platforms are doing better. And even that has kind of changed over time as I play more on PC and Switch. I don't really have a battle in my head between PlayStation and Xbox. They're kind of like
Yeah, no.
my least played anymore. And I
Like
think
the
most of,
idea. I
most people don't
think.
care about Xbox anymore. So
Well, true. Yes. So they lost. No, I'm just kidding.
kind of.
But that's the thing. The idea is novel. I think, especially in this day and age where people just love absorbing negativity. So,
Yeah,
so like the
it's true.
idea is there, but we're not negative, really. Like, I mean, what like
True.
we'll be objective as much as we can because I think we're pretty well balanced. We all try to be like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is cool, but like, XYZ, maybe do this, that, um, maybe that doesn't jive with some people,
Yep.
but I think we're
I would
normal.
say one out of every, I don't know, let's say five, maybe as many as 10 episodes, we have a real negative take on a game. And sometimes we even share that
Sure.
and we are together kind of whining about something being not great. But I would say for the
Sure.
most
Sure.
part, we could be accurately described as toxically positive. We kind of love everything. We love most things. So,
I mean,
and I'm not
isn't
sorry
that
about that.
really?
So,
Yeah. I mean, that's what's kind of unfortunate, Tim, is like you call it toxic positivity, but really to
I
me
know.
it's just we're just like laid back chill guys that like games, and like we're just kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
we're positive, like,
Yeah.
and there's just too
I don't
much
have a lot of time
negativity.
for the
There's too
stuff I
much
don't
negativity.
like. I don't, and the only reason I'll
Yeah.
focus in on something I don't like is if I really wanted to like it and I'm bummed by it and I want to, I just need to vent about it sometimes, but not a
Well,
lot. And I think it's the same for you guys
you're
too.
also I would say all of us are pretty like are we don't have like these like annoying high standards. We're not like these people that are like, if this is not 4K, like
Yeah.
this is dead to me. Like some people exist like that, and like that's that's really dumb. Like, I'm
Hey,
sorry, but
based
it's
on the
just
number of
it's dumb.
simulator games that we celebrate and talk about, I don't think I have any standards, apparently. So I think,
As long as you're doing a job of some sort, not getting paid
yeah,
for it, then
that's right. That's exactly it. I just want to click to do the job instead of do it in real life. I want to lean back in my chair
right.
and click. Yeah, that's how I want to do it. I don't know
Well,
why.
that's what AI
It
is
just
going to do,
works.
Tim. AI is going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love it if AI companies would focus AI on that and not on like doing all the creative stuff and sometimes weird stuff and relationship stuff. Like, stop doing that. Like,
Yep.
get
Yep.
rid of our boring, monotonous jobs so we can do that fun stuff. Whatever. Anyway,
We're
humans being
barreling towards
humans.
the
You know what
future.
I
Towards a
mean?
scary
Yeah.
future, Tim.
They're like, hey, the first thing we need to be able to do is replace relationships and love. It's like, that's the last thing we should be doing with AI. But okay.
Well, it's because they suck at it. All these nerds are
Uh,
terrible at love and figuring the opposite sex out, or I guess the same sex.
yeah.
Whatever they're
I've
into.
been told that. And yet, you're a married man. I've been married just this past week, over 21 years, 7 kids.
There you
I
go.
figured it out,
Yeah.
and I am about as nerdy as it gets about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
by the way, for our 21st anniversary, we didn't get away this time. We're hoping to get away maybe later in the winter, maybe early spring for a couple nights. But
Mhm.
so we just took a day trip and went up to Denver and did a little shopping and went out to eat. So nothing crazy for us, but it was nice to
That's
get
nice
away
though.
for a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah, and my mother-in-law and the
You
kids
can't
were
do
texting
something
us about.
fancy
Yeah, you can't always dress up in
like
something.
every.
Yeah, I was wearing sweatpants. It was really
Yeah.
comfy. But they were texting us while we were out
There you
about
go.
how the two youngest were being bad and whatever. And I didn't, but I
Ah,
wanted to text back like, that's why you're watching them. Like, you deal with it so we can enjoy ourselves. Like, stop stressing us out from a distance.
sure.
And well,
Sure. So it's like, oh, but they're
figure it
being
out.
kids. Okay.
Yeah,
You know?
I know. That's
Yeah.
that's actually all it was. That's what my wife said too. She goes, "They're being normal kids who can be really annoying sometimes. They're kids. That's what they do." Anyway, I was a kid. I was annoying. I don't know about you, but I know I was annoying
I
at
was
times.
I was amazing. I'm still amazing. So
I was a perfect child.
yeah, it was literally perfect. I was perfect cell from Dragon Ball Z. So tail and all,
Hey, by
just
the way,
absorbing people.
but Dragon Ball Z came up the other day. We were talking about anime stuff, and my kids were naming all these anime shows. I know you and Kyle love your anime shows. I still think Dragon Ball Z is one
Sure.
of the only like long running major ones that I've ever watched outside of like the short series we've talked about, like Cyberpunk and stuff
Sure.
like that. But
Sure.
I think Dragon Ball Z is the only one that I've watched. Not all of, but a lot of, maybe most of.
Yeah.
There's not many other ones. I
For
never really got
me,
into One Piece
it's
or the Cowboy Space one. I didn't get into most of those.
Cowboy Bebop is not super long, so that one would be I would consider a shorter one. Um,
Yeah.
the longer ones that I've done all the way through, so obviously Dragon Ball Z, and then Super, which hopefully that continues again because technically the manga is still going. But the only other one that I've started and finished was Naruto.
Oh, okay. So you
Naruto
never
and
got
then
into One Piece,
Shippuden,
huh?
which is no, I mean technically it's still going. I'm just not close to even I'm not even
Ah,
close to that 1000 mark. So I'm like still back in like the 200s or
that's a
whatever.
crazy one.
Um
And then I know a lot of people
but yeah,
love
Naruto is pretty good.
One Punch Man is a really popular one, right? Is that a series or is that a movie?
That one's whew, right now, Tim, that one's a hot topic.
Is it?
It's a hot topic. Yeah, it's whew.
Uh,
So the long and short of it, or TLDR or whatever you want to,
yeah,
whatever
TLDR it. Yeah.
you want to use TLDR. So the first season is like immaculate. It's amazing. It's one of the greatest like one like season of an anime ever. It's just the concept of One Punch Man is supposed to be funny. It's this man. He's just a regular man, and one day he's just like I'm gonna do this training regimen and I'm gonna be super strong to be a superhero. And then he becomes One Punch Man. He can kill anything in one punch, and nobody can basically kill him. And the animation in the first season is insane, Tim. Like absolutely
That's what I've
bonkers.
heard.
Like some of the best I've
Yeah.
ever seen. And then it's basically been downhill animation wise
Ah,
going to season two and now
probably
season
AI.
three. Well, it's just not the same studio. The studio that did the first
Hmm.
season just didn't do these ones. And
Ah, I see.
the
I
one
see.
that did this season is like it's weird. There's some weird stuff going on. The director might have been involved in doing animated sexy animated stuff, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not your old run of the
So,
mill sexy animated stuff. Some
yeah.
illegal. I got you. I got you.
um
Yeah.
so like it's just weird,
Yikes!
like a
Big
weird
yikes.
like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just all
Hmm.
very odd, and everyone's mad and furious,
That's
and
funny.
like
It just randomly came to mind.
threatening.
I had no idea that was like a big controversy. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge
Well,
within the
I
anime
did start
community.
watching Arcane with my older kids. It's a pretty mature show.
Oh
I
yeah,
would say
yeah,
most
yeah.
of it is PG-13. Like if it were in a movie, there's elements that would push close to R. There's a couple of gore
They
elements,
drop
a couple of like couple
profanities
sexual elements.
kind of often, right?
Yeah, but the F word isn't used all that much. Not as much as I
No,
thought. At least it's
okay.
there, but it's just not very
I thought I
often. Like
remembered.
to me, it reminds me of like a
Okay,
PG-13, maybe a soft R rating, perhaps.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and but yeah, it's certainly mature. It's certainly very dark. So, but yeah, there's probably one or two moments throughout the two seasons that I'm gonna just skip and tell them what happens because it's a little too intense. I don't need my 12-year-old
Sure.
daughter and 14-year-old boys sitting there with their dad watching something super uncomfortable. But they're also not too young to like understand and appreciate the dark but compelling storyline. They already love the
Yeah.
storyline. We're on episode 4, I think, of the first season, and they're like, my
Oh, you're
daughter's
like
like, I know
rewatching it
Jinx
right
is.
now.
I am. We just started it this week,
Okay.
and my
Okay.
daughter's just like, I know Jinx is bad, but I love her. She's so funny, and I was like, yeah, she's wacky and like
She's unhinged.
she chews up the scenery, man. Like she's really a compelling
Yeah.
character, and the actress, the Fallout actress, I think she's so good with that voice acting. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
that's her, the one from Fallout.
Oh,
But
is it? Okay.
yeah, the actress who's on the live action
Okay.
Fallout show, I'm pretty sure does the
Yeah.
voice of Jinx. And then
That
you
does
got
sound right. I just had forgotten.
Haley Steinfeld, the NFL quarterback guy, his wife, that actress who was in Hawkeye and stuff like that. She does Vi, one of the other main characters. But yeah, love Arcane. Animation is still, the level of detail is still hard to
Isn't
match.
yeah, insane.
It's so good. It's so well done. The music's great. The direction is great. It's hard to recommend to everyone because it is not super wholesome, but it's also not like, there's some cartoons that you'll watch and you're like, dude, that was disturbing. Well, in all kinds of different content, like truly rated R stuff. Like Cyberpunk is truly, truly
Yeah.
rated R, like
Yeah.
mature adult only viewing. This to me is more like probably 14, 15-year-olds pretty comfortably could watch it. Maybe even 12, 13 if a parent's with them, in my case. And that's just my opinion. But
Yeah.
anyway, I love that show, man. It's been fun to revisit.
It's
And
it's
hey, listen,
beautiful. The animation.
my kids
is
don't.
insane.
I know it's so pretty. My kids don't hate Imagine Dragons like a lot of adults do, but they also don't need to hear the intro song every time. So we've skipped it. They watched it once and they're like, "We're good. We don't need to watch it again."
It's such a
So
God. I can't imagine someone wanting to listen to that. So it's pretty
yeah,
bad.
I mean, when I was a teenager, I'm sure I know that I listened to some cheap radio garbage and didn't think twice about it because it was catchy and it was popular and was whatever. But you develop your tastes in those teenage and young college years. That's where your music tastes really come into play. But anyway, all right. Well, let's talk about some new games that have come out the last couple of weeks. I thought it'd be fun to review a few. There weren't actually too many released this past week since it was a holiday here in the U.S. I know for those of you outside the U.S., you're like, who cares about your dumb turkey holiday? Well, we do, because everything changes for this whole week. Like people get off work for a chunk of the week, and yeah, it's crazy.
I don't want to eat turkey for like 9 months. All right. I've had basically 3 turkey dinners in a row.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, but I'm turkeyed out right now. I'm good.
Yeah, my wife cooked it. She did like this she marinated it in this brine or something. She brined it. I don't know what it was. She did something like two different layers of like giving it flavor, and so it was actually really juicy, which usually turkey is very dry, and with the right gravy and stuffing, it's like it's fine. Turkey is a nice way to kind of like fill out the bite with all this other delicious food that's on the plate. But the turkey she made was really, really good, and it was like really, it was very tasty. So, but still had all the other good stuff too. Yeah, she cracked. That's right, she did. She cracked it. So yeah, it was good overall. Good time. But there wasn't a lot of new releases this past week. At least not that I can find. If there are any, feel free to point them out. I don't know of any. So there are some smaller ones that have come out over the last 2 weeks. I know you and Kyle covered things like Kirby Air Riders, and I think you also talked about Demon School. Did you talk about that one a little bit? Maybe
a little bit, but it was mainly the soccer one that Kyle.
The soccer. Up, so. What's the name of that? What's it? Some of the I.
Something 11. I forget how to say the first.
It's like Ianuza or Iza. I can't remember what it is now. It's something with the I.
Inazuma.
Inazuma. That's what it is. Inazuma, which the style of it, that anime kind of like cartoon school style, has never been something that appeals to me. I know a lot of people it does. That's totally fair. But the concept of that game does sound interesting to me. Hearing you guys talk about it.
It does.
So,
yeah. It really does.
I want to give that one a try, but it is a little expensive for something that I'm curious about. It's not like a must buy, so it's definitely let's wait until it's on Game Pass or on PlayStation Premium or an Epic Games or just on sale. I'd grab it on sale. But anyway, those two are more significant releases that you guys already talked about in our last episode. If you guys all want to hear their thoughts on those games, you can go check that out. But there's some other ones, Dan, that I know we've talked about some of these, but now they're officially out. Some of them in early access that I thought would be fun to go through a few of these kind of rapid fire with our trailers going on in the background. And the first one is one we've talked about a number of times, and I wanted to highlight it once more. It just actually released this week, called Constance. Have you taken a closer look at this one yet?
No, but I mean, I'm obviously very intrigued.
I think you're going to love it.
To be honest.
You're going to like, because you like Celeste. I think you're going to appreciate the easy at first to get the basics and then ramp up of the platforming challenge. I think you'll appreciate that. And the art style, I think, of course, you'll.
It reminds me of if
like as well.
They took Celeste and combined it with like Hollow Knight. because it's
Yeah,
more hand drawn like Hollow Knight, but then has like
right.
the kind of heavy emphasis of like platforming and like crazy stuff of like Celeste, but like there is combat, so it
Yep. Yeah,
looks
and
really
there's a
cool.
demo, I think, or at least on some platforms there is. But yeah, this is the Noisy Pixel review, and overall, it's getting very positive reviews. I think it's averaging in the low 80s on OpenCritic, if that is something that convinces people. But right when I got to this part right here, actually, is where I started to realize, oh, this game isn't easy. Like the timing of where enemies
Mm,
are and where you have to land very specific jumps or you're going to die. I started to, because at first it felt really easy. And I was like, I don't know, this game might just be for kids. And that's okay.
sure.
But difficulty ramped up real fast, even in the demo. And I was like, okay, all right, we're doing this. So it's a good game. I think it's like 20 or 25. It might be on sale right now too at launch. It might be under 20,
It's
but
only
highly
on
recommend
Steam
it.
though.
No, I think it's on everything, although a Google search might need to happen for them. Let me to confirm
Yeah,
that.
it says Microsoft Windows platform, so that's. I mean, it's on
That
Steam. I
would
see the
be
link for Steam, but I'm not seeing it on anything else.
that would
Kind of a
be
bummer.
just that's very strange if that's the case. Let's
Maybe they'll
see.
add them later down the
So
line.
Metacritic lists Switch, Xbox, and PS5. I don't know if we take that as an official thing that's coming elsewhere, but maybe it's just on Steam for the moment. Let's
Yeah,
see.
because when I'm looking at the actual scores, they're all just listed as PC though. Yeah, because TBD is it's
Oh,
listing TBD for everything.
2026 for PS5.
Okay,
So it's just
I'll
on
wait,
PC
I
now.
guess.
Yeah, it's just on PC now, but it is supposed to hit PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Switch sometime in 2026. I would imagine not too far into it. This game, I don't think it would be too hard to port over, but who knows? I don't know. We've always joked about how we don't know. We're like, I think it's just copy and
Hey,
paste.
just
Like,
yeah,
obviously,
you just hit a button. You just hit a button.
yeah, just hit the port button. I don't know what you're doing.
Let the
Anyway,
AI
so
do it.
Constance, highly recommend. Give that one a look if you are on PC or have Steam Deck, or if you're just curious and stuff to add to your wish list for the PS5 or Xbox or Switch. Yeah, give this one a closer look. All right. Also out this week in early access is Cowboy Life Simulator.
You just had to sneak one in there, Tim. You just had
I
to.
had to sneak one. I knew when we were talking earlier about work simulators, I was like, I'm going to be talking about at least one. So
God damn it.
this one's on my wish list. It looks exactly like a simulator game where
Shocking.
the visuals are that kind of yeah, not super clean and clear. It doesn't
Yeah.
listen? It doesn't look as bad as some simulators, but it also once you've played Red Dead Redemption 2, it's hard not to laugh at some
Right.
of the visuals.
Yeah. Of course.
But you are doing all the things you would want to do as a cowboy, running your ranch and raising your animals and building your buildings and like from what I can tell, people are liking it, but it is early access. So a lot of these games
Okay.
launch in early access. Some of them get abandoned. Some of them get great updates and are wonderful after a few years. So it's worth a look
Interesting
if
masks
that
there.
intrigues you. Yeah.
Kind of cowboy wears like
So
a World War II like gas mask.
I know. Yeah, I have no idea. But it's out if you're interested in it. Also out in early access, and you can play this actually on Xbox through Game Pass, is Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault.
Oh, nice.
And so this is out now. If you have Game Pass, you can go give it a try for free with their game preview feature, which is essentially early access for Xbox platform, the Game Pass platform. So I've been playing this for a little bit. I really like it. I think it's a cool way to kind of reset. It's the same character and the same concept. And instead of learning about running a shop, you kind of just have to start over in the game. Of course, explains to you why you have nothing again at the beginning, but new areas to explore, new items to discover, and to try to sell. And you have to kind of do trial and error with the prices to see if your customers like the price. Was it underpriced? Was it overpriced? And you have all these bonuses in there where people can tip you or you can charge more for certain item types, increase rarity. It's got the gameplay when you're out in the world reminds me a lot of Hades. It's that kind of isometric action RPG
Yeah.
with a roguelike element where you make a run, but you don't have to die to end a run. At any point, you can warp back home and sell what you've got. So you don't have to die to finish that run. Or you can just finish an area and choose to go back. Like, all right, I'm done now. I don't need to keep I don't need to keep going. So it's roguelite, yes, but it's not necessarily that you have to die every time. So yeah, you can do all the things you want to do with decorating your shop. There's some limitations with where you can put things, just like the first game. But there's some cool things they do with your items too. Let me see if I can. There was a spot that showed that when you collect items, you put them in your backpack right here. So these are the items that you just collected, and this is the stuff that's in your pack. And the little sparkle is the rarity, which means the value goes up. But a lot of them will have little like rules. When you place them in your bag, this thing could happen. It could do anything from burn the thing beside it to increase the value of the thing beside it.
Oh,
Now, the first game had elements of this too. I just didn't remember it being quite as in depth or strategic as this one, where you can really boost the
okay.
value of high quality items if you use the right thing. Some of it could be if you place this item, it'll burn everything in your row, but then this item will gain like 5 quality for everything that was burned. So if you put a bunch of junk items in
Mm,
a row and then drop that nice one, now you don't have to waste your time selling the crap items, and now you've got a really powerful, expensive item to
okay.
sell. So I like that kind of stuff. So it's a little puzzle game as well, mixed in as you're placing
Yeah.
things in your bag. But then yeah, you Dave the Diver style, you go out, adventure, fight, explore, then you come back, upgrade your area and sell to people and see if you can get the most money as possible. So yeah, it's a really fun game. I like it a lot. If you like Hades, if you like the first Moonlighter, I would recommend giving it a try. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was wondering what like the major differences are aside from aesthetically being pretty different.
Yeah, yeah. It's to me, it's more about the gameplay. The combat feels different. It actually does feel closer to a Hades like experience. Before it was a little bit more. I thought it was a little bit more of a Stardew Valley type combat where it's fine, but it's not like
Yeah.
it's fine. This feels like they've refined the combat and the movement and the abilities, the weapons you get to pick from. I mean, similar to Hades, you have like 4 different weapons, and then you pick one for each run. And sometimes there's one that's like highlighted that will give you bonus experience or something for that run. So some really cool RPG elements they've added into the combat. And then for the selling, I just think it's a little more seamless. Some of the selling stuff's just a little bit more seamless. So it's like
So this
just
is
kind of
like
improved
actually the
across
one
the board.
people should start with, probably. This maybe that was
I
like
think so.
their intention, like a soft reboot, almost like here, just
Yeah,
start
could
with
be.
this one.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, this to me is a no-brainer for the Switch or Switch 2 if it comes out. I highly recommend it to folks when it hits that platform. But right now it's in early access. They'll be adding content as they go, and you can play it on Game Pass now if you have that and want to give it a try. All right, I referenced this one already. Demon School. This is the Game 8 review. Dan, are you familiar with this one? Right, this kind of Persona-like game that came out last week.
I've seen it. Yeah, I just I didn't like know really much about it other than the aesthetic I really like, and it definitely gave me
Yeah,
like classic Persona vibe.
yeah, old school Persona, the character models, even like just the game board, this isometric game, which reminds me a lot of that. But it is tactical, so you might want to stay away
Right.
if it's too tactical for you. But
To be honest, that kind of does. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm just like,
you're like, oh, listen, I'll do tactics if Final Fantasy is in the title. Otherwise, I'm out of here.
yeah. You give
Uh,
me a chocobo and I'm good, but otherwise, get out of here.
but this does look cool. It's one of those ones that might be a fun one to watch on streaming. I've heard it's not a super lengthy game either, but I don't know.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Demon
Kyle
School
said
is
it
out
was
now.
not
It's on
that
all
long.
platforms too. Like if anything you want to play it on, it's on Switch. It's on everything. So, and they're comparing it to some of the Persona spin-offs here. So, there you go.
Which,
Or is Persona a spin-off of this? I
obviously.
guess. But yeah. All right, let's keep moving here. Now in 1.0, out of early access, a game called News Tower. I talked about this one a while back when I played the demo for it. I thought it was pretty charming. But it is a side-scrolling strategy kind of business sim game where you are running your own news outlet, and you are adding rooms and adding employees and adding ways to send reporters out into the field to get the scoop and get the story. Everything's kind of on a timer a little bit because you got to get things to print. It's that old-fashioned kind of early 20th century
Sure.
feeling of news. And you got to pick what goes in the top spot, and each thing has like a different interest. Maybe it's to do with crime or culture or entertainment, and you want to have a good mix of things and appeal to what the readers in each area of the city want to read. So it's interesting. It's got a good management strategy element to it, and it's visually just kind of cool. But it is out now
It
in
seems like it has
1.0.
a lot going on. It's not just like
It does. It
Fallout
does, and
Shelter.
people are loving it. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews right now on Steam. So
Nice.
users be digging
Nice.
it. So News Tower is out. Also out now is Morsels, this weird little
Okay,
game.
here
Have
we
you
go.
seen this one?
These were a bunch of games, obviously, because I didn't have the means to show all the trailers, and Kyle and I were just guessing. We were just doing some guessing, some describing, not totally accurate
What did you think
describing,
Morsels
but
was?
I don't know. But we were just like, yeah, morsels. That's a thing, and it's
That's a
about
game. Yeah.
something. Food, morsels of food. Like I don't know, you're eating something. I don't know. I don't even remember. It's just
That's awesome.
because it's just called morsels. Like it
Yeah,
just
so
looks
it's a twin stick kind of roguelike shooter. So I don't know that it's completely a Vampire Survivors like, but I would imagine if you like games like that, you might like this. But it's got different twists on it, on that genre. So yeah, I think you just kind of upgrade as you go on each run with these weird little plant creatures. So
the
anyway,
aesthetic
Morsels
reminds
is out now.
me of Nidhogg 2.
Oh yeah,
Nidhogg
good call.
2 got kind of like a little squishier and grosser compared to
Uh-huh.
the original one. And it
This
kind of
does have a
reminds me of that a
gross
little bit.
squishiness to it. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. Gross and squishy.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of a pixelated version of Nobody Saves the World, that kind of creative little game where you could turn into different
Yeah.
creatures, but kind of has, that gross squishiness to it as well. So, yeah, there you go. Morsels is out now. Also out now is a new family-friendly platformer if you want to try SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide, which I think is getting somewhere in the good to great realm of reviews. Everyone's giving it anywhere between a 7 to like an 8.5 out of 10 average. Pretty
Yeah.
solid, I would say. So if you like character platformers, especially with characters that you grew up watching on SpongeBob was a little bit after my time. I was a little too old for it by the time it was super popular, but I was, of course, very aware of it and know the names of a lot of the characters and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure it's fun. It reminds me of the kind of game you would rent from Blockbuster back in the day for a weekend or whatever.
Like, I mean, if your kids still like SpongeBob, like, and they do make these games like kind of often, so it's like I would imagine that plenty of kids are going to want to play it. So.
Yep. I mean, if you were like us and you played and loved Astrobot last year and you're like wanting more, I'm not saying this. I mean, this clearly isn't up to snuff or something like that, but it is another fun, kind of cute platformer game that's totally fun for family to play or your kid to play and you help them out, whatever. And if you're looking for something like that, and this is on every console, it's on Switch as well, so you can play it anywhere. And yeah, SpongeBob is here with pizza boxes helping you float. Silly. I love it.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, Dan, let's keep rolling here. Here's one that I know you saw someone streaming at the very least, Neon Inferno. What did you think about what you saw of this one?
Yeah, this game's rad, dude. And yeah, he platinumed it, which is insane. It took him quite a while, but that's just, these kinds of games were always difficult back in the arcade days, right? So this is like an homage to those.
Yep. It's a short game too. Like it's a couple hours maybe to play through the whole all the missions. But if you want to perfect it, you got to put your mind in an arcade mode with games like this. Don't think of it like a long linear story. Think of it more like an arcade game where there's a selection of missions, but then you can go in and fine tune and improve your score on them and unlock trophies and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the art, the art is awesome, and like the mechanic, like that deflecting things is really cool, and actually like directing which way it's gonna go is really cool. Shooting into the background is really cool. Like, there's a lot of just interesting things going on in this one. Yeah, and the soundtrack is awesome too. So
let me see if there's sound. This is probably the Gaming Bite. This is the Gaming Bite review, so it might be people talking. Let's see. Yeah, there's no music, so I won't.
Okay.
Make you guys listen to it. The Gaming Bite review, I'm sure, is great, but I kind of wanted to hear the tunes a little bit. Maybe when it's time for year-end stuff, when we celebrate some music from the year, we'll pop on some tunes from this one too to listen to. So,
absolutely.
Neon Inferno is out, I believe, on all platforms now. I don't think this review will say. I'm pretty sure it's on everything. It's definitely on the two major consoles and PC. I know that. But let's see if they're. Yeah, it's on everything. It's on Switch as well. So there you go. Neon Inferno. All right. Let's keep rolling here, Dan, into this kind of what looks to be a very challenging game that for how pixelated it is.
Oh,
This game is called Force Strike. Have you heard of Force Strike?
yes, because I was calling it what was I calling it? Forest something. I was saying forest, not. Yeah, I just wasn't figuring
Oh,
out the word.
nice.
I was being a clown.
I
I was
thought you
being
were
a
going to
clown.
say you called it foreskin, and I was like, Dan, that's not what this is. Okay, it's not the time.
That would have been better. That would have been better.
Yeah, this is from what I can tell. Oh, okay, so it's people who made that Olija game, however you say that one. But
Yeah.
it is from what I can tell, a very difficult precision kind of action game. So think almost like
Yeah.
maybe
He's trying
Sifu
to
like
drop
with some
kick
of the stuff
everybody.
you have to do. Yeah, I'm not really sure. But all I know is it's got a cool look to it. This pixelated style, the animation's cool. And you're thrown into these levels with enemies that have certain amounts of shield and health and have different attacks.
Yeah.
And you have to navigate your way through it. And I don't think it's easy. I do think it's challenging. So
It looks
just
really
beware.
cool.
It does
Yeah.
look cool. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Force Strike is out now on PC, and people think Sifu meets Into the Breach. How about that? It's only on PC and Switch, but it's also only $10. So if that is something that interests you, it's not a huge investment.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, Switch and PC. All right. Got this game Void Miner. Reminds me a lot of like the old school Asteroids, which is what it's compared to. It's like an Asteroids roguelike where you upgrade over time your little ship and you fly around a single screen as more and more things come flying into the screen that you have to destroy before your little ship gets blown up. So I remember playing Asteroids back in the day, but this is a much more complex version if you want to try out.
Everything's a
Void
roguelike,
Miner.
Tim. It's a roguelike.
Everything is. Yeah. This is true. This is on Steam only for right now. I think it's probably going to come to more stuff if it's successful, though. Hey, this one's for Kyle. This looks a lot like Unpacking, but different. This one's called The August Before, and I think it's one of those super thoughtful, slow-moving indie games that wants to make you cry, and I'm sure it will succeed. I have no idea. But the idea is as you're I literally think you are packing up various spots in your life over time and memories kicking in, and it's telling a story of this person as they are packing, and it's called The August Before. So
I'm gonna say it's almost like a walking simulator, but it's a packing simulator. So it's kind of like
unpacking really
walking.
started this whole new genre that Kyle loves.
Yeah.
So
Right, big fan. It's his favorite.
it's a big fan.
His favorite genre. Really.
That's right. That's right.
Out of all the
I'm
genres.
sure it's sad. I'm sure someone in this has died, and you're mourning them and thinking about them, and it's going to make everyone cry. And I'm sure that's what it is, but I could be wrong. All right. Also, Dan, I thought you might be interested in this one. I love that they put that little warning at the beginning. This is a game called Kingdoms of the Dump. Have you heard of this one?
Right. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Most of these we discussed on the last episode. Again, we just didn't have anything to show.
Now we got the video, but this is apparently made by real life custodians. It's their day job. Right. They made this. I don't know if that's true or not, but
which is really cool.
I think so too. Yeah. But literally you're a trash can with the sword. You're this knight, I guess, but it's got kind of has a 16-bit RPG look to it, the way you're wandering around and exploring, and a little bit of platforming there too. You saw, I'm pretty sure that the combat was turn-based though, right? With like RPG. Yeah. The RPG turn-based.
Yeah, it's an RPG. Yeah. It's very interesting. It's an interesting idea.
It is. It is. Creative enemies, creative heroes, the whole deal. So yeah, Kingdoms of the Dump, which is out on everything, I believe, now. So go give that one a look. Out in early access, we've referenced this one before too, called The Diner at the End of the Galaxy, where you literally are running a diner out in space. And so it's a business management sim with some adventure-like elements to it. But yeah, it is in early access right now if you want to give that one a closer look on Steam. Interesting art style with this one too.
Yeah.
Kind of like it. Yeah.
I like the I like the look of this one.
Yeah, looks cool. So anyway, you have to manage your way through these different factions that will come in, and who you're going to support and double cross. So there's more than just the management element, but that is the crux of the game, is building up and running your diner, making sure that all of your customers are happy and all that stuff. So, all right, then we've got R-Type Delta HD Boosted. This is a remake. I played stuff like what was it, Gradius maybe? I played some side-scrolling shooters over
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played the
Shmups.
R-Type games, but yeah, the shmups. This is another Noisy Pixel review. It looks cool. Like it looks like they gave us some cool upgrades, and so you can go check this one out. R-Type Delta HD Boosted is out now. So is Cleared Hot. Listen, this game slaps. I love this game. So it reminds me so much of like the old Choplifter games, and there was a bunch of other
Urban
ones.
Strike and Jungle
Urban
Strike
Strike,
and
that's right. Yep, yep. Um, and it plays really well. The controls are great. It's only in early
okay.
access, so they only have, I guess it's chapter 1 of 3 out so far, and they already put out the
Okay.
roadmap of what, chapter 2 is coming. They got these extra challenge modes coming. Then they'll have chapter 3 and then 1.0 release, which I believe they plan on launching on all systems. It feels right though. Like it has the great feel. You have this little
Good.
grapple hook right there. You can hover over stuff and pick things up, whether it's healing items or a shield or ammo for rockets, things like that. Or people,
Yeah.
humans, you have to help extract in some cases, get them back to the safe point. Or money. You could pick up money to go upgrade, buy new helicopters, buy new guns. Deck them out with new weaponry and things like that. So it's really fun. I actually thought some of the writing and acting, yes, it's a little bit like 80s B movie, but it still made me chuckle a couple times. Like I kind of liked the banter and it's all voice acted, and I thought it was done pretty well.
Nice.
Um, like not one moment did I go, oh, this is a developer who's reading a script. They didn't have anyone yet. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I've felt that in games where I'm like, that was just someone on the team who's got a decent voice, who read that line. But in this
This
one, it feels like
this looks like a
they
good
actually did a good job.
homage to those.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
actually booted it because I think you had mentioned this at some point. Oh, this
Yeah.
game that's coming out, and then like we looked it up, and I was like, oh shit, this reminds me. Like I had forgotten about those games. And the other day,
Yeah.
like a few weeks ago, I booted up. I think it was Urban Strike.
Okay.
That that
Yeah.
game is hard, dude. it's so
Yeah.
it's so difficult, and the controls are not
Yeah.
great. So like
Mm-hmm.
this having great controls, it's kind of like, all right. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I kind of like am way more curious about this, to be honest. So
Yeah. Yeah. I really like it. I highly recommend it. There are certainly some escort type missions that were pretty challenging. It's funny they do have the cutscenes like this too, which I which I liked. These little comic booky cutscenes that they have.
was he just like crying
Um,
into the pillow? Is that what he was doing?
It's one of those things where at the
Was saying
opening
congrats on you.
you're a young pilot, and then of course it jumps like several decades later, and you're this washed up guy who, after
Okay.
this horrible thing happens in the intro, he's just living out in the middle of nowhere, wanting to be left alone, and then he gets pulled back in to
Mm.
help a guy with a couple little jobs with a helicopter that's unarmed. But
When
then
you
over
think you're
time,
out.
it's very like an Arnold Schwarzenegger '80s movie. Like he's retired,
Sure.
living peacefully somewhere, you know. And
Sure.
then now, next thing you know, he's launching rockets into hordes of enemies that are coming his way. So yeah, man, it's pretty fun. I like it a lot. I'm sure there's some things they can clean up, but for the most part, I felt like it was a very tight experience, really compelling. There's like 12 missions, maybe 14 missions, something like that in the first chapter.
Mm.
Plenty of replayability too. Like you could always go back and
Yeah.
try to get better scores, and you can upgrade things. But yeah, being in early access, some stuff is still locked, but I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend Cleared Hot. It's in early access now on PC. I'm sure we'll hit everything later. All right. Two more. This one's called Monsters Are Coming Rock and Road. So this is a tower defense vampire survivor like. So you're number one, you're setting up tower defense like structures, turrets, things like that against hordes of enemies,
Okay.
and you're running around vampire survivor style with each run,
Yeah.
whatever upgrades you want to focus on to defend. So
Towers adds
yeah,
something unique to it, at least.
I think so. I think so too. And I like this idea of kind of like this heavy metal rock and roll vibe with monsters from hell or whatever. Like it's just a different vibe to these kind of games
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like when
Which
there's
I'm
a
on board
different
with.
genre or a different setting. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, Monsters Are Coming Rock and Road. This is the Gaming Byte review also. All right, last but not least, let's keep rolling here. Retrace the Light. This really cool looking side scrolling game. Have you heard of this one, Dan? We've talked about it once or twice, maybe
Um,
back in a while back.
maybe I'd have to actually see it in action here.
This is a short launch trailer. Let's see if we can. There we go. Oh, it's isometric. I thought it was side
Okay.
scrolling. Yeah, isometric. Yeah, it's got a really cool look to it. I think people are
Hmm.
really digging it too. By the way, let me look up what the actual genre is.
He's got weapons, so he's fighting.
Rope. It's a RPG action adventure,
Okay. Raise the,
and
oh,
it
so
currently has.
he just like ticked something, and then like the path that he's
Yeah,
making, he like went backwards, so he's
that was
retracing his
that was
steps, so to
cool.
speak.
Yeah, like a creative take
That's
on the
interesting.
rewind time control thing or something.
Yeah.
But it's there's a demo if you want to go try it out on Steam. If you've got Steam, you can go try out the demo for this. And it's got a launch sale right now. It's only $16 if you want to go buy it. But it has an 87% positive reviews on Steam, so very positive
Nice.
on Steam.
Yeah,
So
this
yeah,
looks cool.
Retrace the Light. Yeah, I like this one. All right, Dan. I think that's it for the new games. Let's pull up our toasty fireplace for our fireside chat here. Let's bring this up. Ah, there we go.
I was gonna say I'm getting a little cold, so if you could
Yeah,
like
I
get a
bet
fire
you are.
going, I would
Hands to yourself,
appreciate
okay? Hands to yourself.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, dude, what was your Thanksgiving like? Did you get a chance to get any additional gaming in? Do you guys have time to do that, or you find yourselves pretty busy with family, friends, things going on?
I mean, definitely did things, but not like it wasn't like we were overwhelmed with plans or anything. So on the last episode, I don't know if you had heard the part I mentioned. I finished Silly Poly Beast.
I did
Because that game's
hear
not like
that.
super
Yep.
super long. That game is really cool, so I would check that one out. That one's actually really an interesting little horror game that kind of has like sort of elements aesthetically of like Persona, but like mixed with like Signalis and like some Silent Hill vibes. So I thought that one was cool, and I
Yep.
actually so this is not very common for me. I usually like will stick with a game. Um, I start a game and like I'll stick with it because I mostly like it, and you know that there might
Hmm.
be XYZ things that I'm like, I don't totally like this, whatever.
Yep.
Um, but I was like, okay, let me boot up Lost Soul Aside because I've been wanting to play Lost
Mm,
Soul Aside, and I was excited all these years of being like, oh, that's so cool, like that this kid got like this deal with Sony and he was making this game. Um, and I liked the demo, so I started up the game.
hmm
And the voice acting is very very terrible. um and like there are some characters that are like not too bad, not too bad,
Okay.
but like the main character, Kaiser, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name, Kaiser. Dude, his voice acting is it's so atrocious. It's so
Mm,
bad. And honestly, I think it's just bad direction because I think like the sound of his voice is not bad. I think it's just the way that he was directed to deliver the lines was just abysmal. So it's just he doesn't emote the right way in the scenes. And just sometimes the way that the dialogue cuts in certain parts just feels very like jarring and just weird. It just I think like voice acting, the English voice acting was just they didn't put the amount of effort that they should have put into it.
yeah.
Um
Yeah.
so I was like, fine, you know
It's too
what?
bad. It's got a
I'll
cool
I'll
style
switch
to it.
it.
I just brought up the video of it here too. The style of
Yeah.
it is pretty cool.
Well, I mean, again, this is supposed to be kind of almost like an homage to Final Fantasy Versus 13. Like this kid was
Yeah.
like, "Well, I love this whole what Nomura is doing with this like action RPG Final Fantasy spin-off thing. So I'm gonna like make my own thing." So I mean, this was supposed to come out like console generations back,
Yeah.
um, technically. Um, but yeah, I mean, like this guy looks pretty cool. He looks like a character that would be in any character action game, you know,
Yep.
like there's
Yep.
some cool looking stuff. man, the voice acting's so bad. So I switch it to Japanese, which I don't like to do because especially in a game where like there's just so much happening on the screen and it's
You
happening
want to hear it.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what's just being said so I don't have to read
Yep.
dialogue while I'm fighting anybody or doing it. And I just, I think my brain right now is just like not feeling it. So like I only
Yeah.
played like an hour and I was just like, I need to play something else because I'm not in the mood for
Mm-hmm.
this. Just not in the mood,
Yep.
which is not common
Yeah, I
for.
was sad to see that
Sorry,
it didn't get the
not common.
best reviews, which isn't always a fair judge of
Yeah,
if a game's good. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Like
of course.
reviews are what they are, take them or leave them. But there did seem to be some level of consistency with it's falling short in a number of ways. And I did
Yeah,
actually see that about the dialogue was actually kind of grating on the ears after a while. So
not
yeah,
great.
that's a
It's
bummer.
really not great.
That that's a bummer.
Um,
You
and
know
the
what? Let's bring
combat in
this
the
back.
beginning
Let's
is
feel a
like,
little happier. Let's bring that. There we go. That's better.
there we go. Now I'm warm again. You see, I
There's
was feeling cold and dead inside.
you are.
Um, and now I'm warm again.
Now we're
So,
back.
and
Now we're
and
back.
and this is a funny juxtaposition here, Tim. Are you ready for this? So I was like,
I'm ready.
I'm not in the mood to play that. You know what I am in the mood to play? A remaster of a PS2 game, Onimusha 2,
Oh my gosh. Yes, dude.
which which also has not good voice acting, but it's a PS2 game. So like,
Right.
and I love the Onimusha series, so it's like I know what I'm getting into, and I hadn't played this game in so long, um, so I'm having such a good time because like Onimusha 2 feels like it's an action game like the first one, a survival horror action game, but like it has like more of an emphasis on RPG elements in this one, which is cool. I wouldn't
I
call it
never
an
played this
RPG, but
game.
I'm sure some people would. It's
Now that
so
I'm
cool,
seeing
dude.
this,
It's so
I
cool.
don't recognize playing this at all. I think I really only tried the
Yeah.
first one briefly, and I played it a lot. I beat the third one years ago,
Okay.
but
Yeah. So the second one is where we deviated from Samanosuke. This is Jubei Yagyu of the Yagyu
okay,
clan, which is very connected to like the Onis and all that. So that's kind of like his connection to all that. Um, but like, yeah, like you got your different weapons that you upgrade, just like in the first one. But you're upgrading your armor also. So there's 3 tiers that you're upgrading the armor, so your defense gets better, and aesthetically it looks a little different, which is cool.
hmm
There's other party members that like you come across, like these people that you come and you actually can collect items in the game, and then there's like this whole like hidden like tally system in the background of like they like certain items more, so like your relationship with them deepens better, like more if you give them better items. But like there's
gotcha.
this whole system of like, yeah, like there's these, and they'll pop up in a room like this. Like if you start kind of getting your ass handed to you, like they'll pop in and be like, "Hey, do you need some help?" So then they'll actually
That's
fight
cool.
alongside you. Yeah, which is cool. Um,
Yeah.
but then later on in the game, you actually get to play as these characters, which is cool too. So you
That's
you
pretty
play
sweet.
them in certain instances, and you can give
Dan, we're not
them
that far
like
away
their.
from having a new Onimusha game out, by the way. Not
Dude,
that many
I
months
I
away.
keep forgetting, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe we're getting a new one. Like this is insane.
Yeah,
It's absolutely insane.
yeah,
Um,
that's crazy.
but yeah, this game is just so fun. It feels very PS2 and it's just nostalgic and I'm just having a good time with it. So it's just funny to go
Are you,
from one game
that's
that's like a newer
PS5 as
game
well.
that yeah, PS4, PS5, yeah. Um it's just a remaster, so but I'm just having a good time with that, and I haven't touched I think I did one more chapter of Dispatch since we last spoke. That game is really
Hmm.
cool, so I need to get through
Yeah,
that. Um
yeah.
and then just catching up on Stranger Things because I wanted to rewatch the 4th season before the new one, the final season comes
Ah,
out.
right.
So I'm on the last episode of Stranger Things,
Nice.
season 4, Stranger Things.
Yeah, I need to catch up on that too. I think I've only ever watched the 3 seasons of it. I don't like when they split
Oh,
seasons. So my intention is
really?
always to like get in and watch full seasons. But
Okay. So you never watched
I just
season
remember
4?
liking. I never did. I remember liking 3, but also kind of being
Ooh,
like, I don't know. This feels like it's getting stretched out a bit. It's okay. Like you know what I mean. You start to kind of. But I bet you if I revisit it, I'm gonna love it. I just loved season 1. I really did enjoy season 2 as well, which some people don't like.
dude,
Yeah,
Season 4 is fantastic. I mean, of
that's what I've
course it
heard.
has it, like anything else, it has its problems. I I
That's what I've
I
heard.
honestly I think season 4 is my favorite.
Yeah,
I would say season 4
yeah,
and then like maybe 1 and then 3. I don't know. I really like 3 too because of the whole like mall thing cuz that's just
yeah.
kind of nostalgic.
I did like that part a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
But
felt
season
so
4 is
80s. The final showdown's even in the mall, right? Of season 3, if I remember correctly.
yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But yeah, I'm excited for it's finally going to be done, Tim. It's finally going to be done.
Yeah, when's the last half of season 5 coming out? Soon?
The whole way they're splitting it is weird, but I think the whole thing will be done. I think it was at New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I forget. It's like right around there.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah. But like they are like splitting it up like 3 times, which is, annoying, but it is what it
Right.
is.
It is what it is.
Is
That's right.
what it is.
I agree. Well, dude, I am also here. Let me pull this up here because I also spent a lot of time playing this game right here, Dispatch.
Nice.
I actually finished it. I couldn't stop playing it. To me, that was like a TV
Yeah.
show. I had to see what happened next because it is. It's an
Hmm.
interactive TV show. It's a high quality, really well animated. I think wonderfully written and voice acted. Even some of the voice actors who
Oh
aren't
yeah.
really voice actors, they're kind of like industry people who have done some dabbling in the acting realm, like Alana Pierce, for example. And she's been in other stuff too, but not a ton. Um,
Hmm.
but her and also there's another streamer guy. I can't remember his name. He's got the long hair and the beard. He does Sonar's voice. He did a good job as Sonar. Like
Okay.
I just thought all of it was great. I just really enjoyed it start
That's
to
what
finish. Your
when you have
choices
good
really make a
direction
difference.
that
Yeah.
can really help
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
That helps too.
Yeah. And Aaron Paul is brilliant. Laura Bailey was great. The girl who plays Blonde Blazer, I can't remember her L something. She might have been the. Now I got to see who that is because I think that's a recognizable actress. Anyway, really, really good acting, writing, cool decisions. Many times I kind of found myself chuckling.
Yeah.
I just loved it, man, start to finish, and a great epic conclusion to it that really plays out based on decisions you made over time. So it's not really an RPG, but if you have invested into certain characters, things will go a certain way at the end, and then not just in a romance way, yes, in a romance way, but also in like what decisions they make in at the ending
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, dude, really, really good game. I love Dispatch. So I finished that.
And it looks
I'm
great too.
glad that I'm glad I was able to wrap it up because it's been one of those stretches where you kind of described it, where I've started a bunch of games, but I haven't finished a ton of games. I think
Yeah.
for like the first 8 months of the year, I was kind of finishing so many games. I was like on a roll, I felt like. But then all of a sudden, I got to the second half of the year, and Donkey Kong Bonanza and Hell Is Us and a few other big games that I really
Still need to.
liked, I just couldn't finish. And it's not because I don't like them. It's just like I got distracted or just didn't feel a strong
Yeah.
enough itch to take time to sit down and play them. Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's not because I don't like it. I love that game. I just have to be in a certain mode to really want to play a very kind of family friendly, colorful platformer. It's not always my favorite,
Yeah.
but like that's when I played through Astrobot, loved it. And I like Donkey Kong Bonanza. That game has a little bit of it adds a little anxiety to me because I feel like I have to destroy everything to experience everything, and I don't want
Ah.
to do that. So there's that.
I mean,
There's that too.
it does
That's part
encourage
of it.
to do that.
It does
Yeah.
encourage
Yeah.
destruction.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was nice to finish one, and I've been playing a lot of Outer Worlds as well. I think I am
Mm.
about 2/3 of the way through, based on just generally like walkthroughs of missions. I'm about 2/3 of the way down the main mission list. There, I've got a bunch of companions now, and that game's great. I love that game. It's really fun. It's got
Yeah.
some flaws for sure. So did the first game, but that doesn't mean I don't like it a lot, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, really liking Outer Worlds too. And then I also dove back into Vampire Survivors a little bit while we were
Oh,
watching
nice.
stuff. I just pulled it up on the Steam Deck and was playing it.
Was
There's so much content in that game now, like so much. There's paid DLC, but they also added adventures where you actually go through and have very specific. It's the same gameplay, but you have specific
yeah.
goals to kind of complete mini campaigns with these little characters, and you can unlock
Oh.
more stuff
Okay.
doing like little adventures as well. So Vampire Survivors is always a good time. And last but not least, I think Dispatch put me in the mood for like I wanted to play like another story driven game while I'm in that mode. Like take me through another story, like something that I've sidelined and never went back to. So I knew there were a few. So I went back through my backlog and just kind of looked at what's in my library that I haven't played. And one jumped out to me that has universal acclaim, people talking about how it's their favorite game of all time. And I don't know how much weight to give all the user reviews, but I decided to
Sure.
re-download, and I'm planning on trying after we're done recording, firing it up tonight and tomorrow. Opus: The Echoes of Star Song. Remember this game?
Hmm.
Here, let me bring up a trailer for it. Does that ring a bell
Not
at all?
not totally ringing a bell,
It
but
is a.
usually if I see
It,
something, I will recognize it.
let me bring up the. Maybe maybe a review. It's a good one to bring up. Let's see here. All right, let me bring over the Noisy Pixel review. It came out probably 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago,
Huh?
something like that. Here, let's pull this up. So it's got this anime art style to it, of course, set in space.
Okay.
Um, here, let me bring up
Intrigued.
the description while this trailer is playing. The description is it's a visual novel style adventure game. Ida, a girl who can hear mysterious sound waves known as Star Song, crosses paths with a young man in search of their source. Together, they venture out to the heart of space to unravel an ancient myth. And I do think there's some gameplay elements to it as well. That's one of the things I was looking for. Like, I don't just want to click forward to see the story. I kind of want
Yeah.
some interaction. Like Dispatch, I really liked their gameplay too. And this one's been in my library for a while because it was on a super steep sale, and I was like, "There's no reason not to get this thing. Let's get it." Um,
Yeah.
so, and I do believe it's pretty regularly on sale, but a lot of people have it as their game of that year. I think it came out in 2021. It was their favorite of that year,
Hmm.
or it won a bunch of awards. So, anyway, I do want to give this one a try, and I will report back how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell. Like, I mean, I like the look of it, but it's not. Yeah, I don't know if I remember this one, but it does look intriguing.
Yeah, see, there's some elements of adventuring, exploring a little bit. I don't think it's like some major
Yeah.
open world space exploration thing, but I think there's enough there, enough gameplay there. Um, so anyway, that one looks pretty fun. I'm gonna give that one a try, and I will let you know. Opus Echo of Star Song.
All right,
All
you'll
right,
report
I think
back.
that's pretty much it. Hey, we're back in front of the fire. I think that's pretty much all for the stuff that I'm playing. And like I mentioned, watching Arcane, we did start our first Christmas movie this week. We watched Elf.
Huh.
Got that
Okay.
one out of the way
Sure.
first. I love that movie. It's still funny to
An
me,
actual
but
Christmas movie.
that's right. Just like Die Hard, Dan. Just like Die Hard.
Tim, I will throw you into the fire.
Hey, you can't get violent in front of this cozy scene. Come on now. Also, who left the door open with all these leaves that blew in here? You know what I mean? Like, look at the floor of this place. Like, someone
Probably the
really,
kids. It's always
probably
the
the
damn
kid. I mean,
kids
it's
running in and
and not
out,
a fire hazard at all,
closing.
kids. A bunch of dry leaves on the floor. It's totally safe to do that. Yeah.
Sure. Hanging over the fireplace too. There.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is clearly AI that created this, but whatever. All right. I want to go over we'll wrap it up with the Game Award nominees. We'll look at what was nominated and how we did with our predictions. You guys didn't cover that yet, right? I didn't hear you. Did you talk about that
No.
already last week? I don't think you did.
No,
Okay.
because I don't think we like had the information in front of us. So
Yeah, no, that's fine. So we'll go over our predictions and also just I want to get your thoughts on what's been nominated. Do you think those are pretty good picks? Do you feel like some stuff was snubbed? Well, every year there's a couple of odd, like, why is that one there? There's a few of those usually every
Mhm.
year. Um, but I'm going to channel my inner positive Kyle and say, uh, I'm just glad this thing exists. I am. I'm glad the Game Awards happens. I like to see
Yeah.
a major event like this where the medium that I love gets attention and accolades, and I love it. So I don't want it to go away. And I think it's a great venue to launch game trailers as well. It's cool to launch into the new year with some new reveal or a release date for a highly anticipated game or something really cool. I like that kind of stuff. I really
Yeah.
enjoy it for that. But I would recommend, speaking of Alana Pierce from Dispatch, she put out a video that I thought was really good. She said the same thing. She loves the event, loves how Keeley does it. She used to be one of the voters on it back when she worked at places like
Mm.
IGN or whatever. But she made a really good point saying that like it shouldn't be the be all end all awards where you look at it and get either upset or gloat about a game quote unquote winning something because the way
Well,
voting happens isn't the most uh, intense process. Like if you're already on the committee, there's no requirement that you play any of these games, let alone the ones you're voting on.
Ah,
Like it could be a
sure.
popularity contest. It could be what there's no like measuring or agreement you sign that you'll play the game. Like nothing. It's just
Yeah.
you pick. And also your picks
Yeah,
have to be
yeah.
submitted by November 4th. So there's this weird window of games that release between then and the cutoff date, which they claim is the 22nd, where it's like, how do you
Okay.
vote on stuff? Like, listen, I'm not here crying for Call of Duty. Black Ops 7 was a major disappointment for me this year. I'm just saying there are games that release in that little intermediary that's weird that are kind of
Yeah,
left out.
it
And
is.
anyway, yeah.
Never quite understood
So
that, Keely.
that's okay. It doesn't mean I don't want it to happen. I'm glad it happens. I just feel like there's some cleanup they could do. Maybe even just somehow encourage the voters, like, or give them incentives somehow. I don't know how they could do this, but be like, we want you to play the games that you're picking, or that they're going up
Yeah.
against, so you can have a real clear. It'd be nice
Or
if
just
they
you
did
don't
that.
get to
But
vote if you don't like play the games in that category, I guess.
yeah, there's no real way to check that, I guess. But it could be like at least an honor
Sure.
system check. Like, did you play these? Yes or no? And
Yeah.
if you lie, that's on you, I guess. But whatever. All that to say, I'm glad it's happening. We'll go over the nominees here shortly. There were two pieces of news. It's been a pretty slow news week in the games industry, at least that I could find. But I thought these were worth highlighting. We've talked about the Steam Machine a couple of times. We even watched a little bit of the reveal video when that was first talked about, and so we know that it is launching without. I shouldn't say with that. It's launching, I think, sometime next year. We don't know the price it's launching at, so we don't have the details yet. But Valve did say if you build a PC from parts and get basically the same level of performance, that's generally the price window that we're going to aim at. So I thought immediately 1,000 to 1,200. Like I thought, dang, that's going to be crazy. Now, to be fair, I don't do a ton of computer builds. I've done one. I don't shop regularly for parts and upgrades, so I don't really know
Yeah.
what costs currently are. I didn't really dig into the Steam machine reveals to figure out what this should be. But the channel Linus Tech Tips took that on and decided to build a PC with similar components, and they
Mm.
estimate that building it right now at the lowest, no, not right now, at the lowest historical price, $602 to build it. At the current prices, with
Okay.
certain pieces being more expensive than usual, some are pretty much the same, but some are more expensive than usual with the current economy, as much as 910, maybe 813 if you use lesser brands. So they kind of landed at the estimate that they think it's going to land around $700, give or take, at
Okay.
launch
Okay.
for Valve. And especially think about Valve, they probably can get access to things at wholesale and bulk pricing and things like that. They're not going to pay what we would pay if we went over to the store to buy, uh, a graphics card or whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
if it lands at 7, what would you think about that?
Well, so I mean that's like $50 more than the Steam Deck, the highest Steam Deck, the 1 terabyte OLED. Um, oh, I'm not again. I still think this is a really cool thing because like if you don't want something like a Switch where it's a handheld and you want like an actual just dedicated box that's just sitting in your living room and it plays a insane ton of PC games because the Steam library is just right there and
Yep.
has existed for a long time, then I mean 700 it is a lot of money for sure, but things this generation have been pretty wild price wise. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Agreed.
it's not surprising, you know.
By the way, if people want to get a Steam Deck, I highly recommend they get the $550 one. Right now, you can get the cheaper one. It's like 350. No, I think it's 400. Right now, it's actually on sale.
LCD.
It's on sale. Yeah, the
Okay.
LCD one for 320. You could get the cheaper one, but 550 you get the OLED, which is the one I have, and I love that screen. I think it looks great. Better performance, better battery life, all those kind of like it's just everything's a little bit beefier inside, and you still get 512 gigabytes of install space, and you can use micro SD cards, which I did to not just store games, but you can actually just launch and play games right off of that SD card. So if you can get a pretty decent price, you can beef it up by a few hundred, maybe even a terabyte of extra without spending the full 650. Just a side note there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 700. I would feel very comfortable with that if I decided to invest in it. To me,
Yeah.
that's not a deal breaker for me. I feel like once you get up to the 8, especially 900 range, now you're talking about easily draining $1,000 out of your bank account. I just don't see
Yeah.
myself doing that for this.
But some people
So,
will. So
oh,
you
for
know, it
sure.
depends. I guess Valve
Yeah.
being like, hey, like we're pretty rich, so like we'll take a little bit of a hit here. That way we get more people in our
Right.
ecosystem to spend money on the games. That's kind of the trade-off. Is that what they're
Yeah.
gonna do? Or are they gonna be like, nah, like we want the money up front because for the
Yeah.
machine itself.
It's a good question. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But yeah, I appreciate channels like Linus Tech Tips going through and saying, "Hey, let's just see what the actual parts are and let's try this. Let's see what it would cost." And so
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable to expect something around 700, probably for the cheaper model, and for the more expensive model with more storage, maybe more 800-900 bucks. And maybe it's bumped up. Maybe it's 800-900 for the cheaper one and $1,000 for the more expensive one. So who knows? But it would be nice to have a way to play an amazing library of games sitting on your couch with that admittedly kind of cool looking controller. I'm curious about the controller as well, that Steam controller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that is still waiting on true details for that one, for the actual price and release date.
I wonder when they'll actually, because they said the beginning of next year, right? More, but like beginning of next year could be January,
Yeah.
it could be April. Like I don't know, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I would expect it to hit sometime in the spring if I had to guess, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We will see what happens there. Hey, Cyberpunk 2077 has now, at least so far in its first 5 years of being released, has outpaced Witcher 3 in terms of sales. It's now already up to 35 million copies sold. That's a
Oh
lot.
wow. Okay.
It's a lot of copies. Yeah.
Hey, good for them.
I think Witcher 3, if I remember the article correctly, it took them 6 years to get to 30 million sold, which is still a runaway, insane hit. That's what launched CD Projekt Red into who they are now. But yeah, 35 million. That's amazing. And they did say that, releases like the Switch 2 and, rolling out the big DLC, all that stuff has really helped bolster those numbers and keep pumping up those numbers. So yeah. I still have this kind of back of my mind. Do I want to get it on Switch 2? I have it on PC already. It's going to look and play the best there. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I'm just compelled to get it on Switch 2 for some reason. The handheld component is intriguing, but I'm like, but I have it on Steam. I could play it on my Steam Deck. What is wrong with me? Like, what am I doing?
You
But
could do that.
It keeps going on sale. Like it goes down to like 30, 40 bucks for the whole package. Like you get the full game and the DLC, all of it all together. So I got to stop talking. I'm going to talk myself into buying it. All right.
Yeah, I was saying you still got that residual like Switch 2. Like I gotta get the thing.
It's starting to fade, but it's still there a little bit, but it is starting to fade.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, you might have missed your window with me as a majorly susceptible purchaser. But
True.
All right, Dan, let's look at the nominees for this year's Game Awards as we wrap up this episode. So we're just on their website. We'll look at the categories to see where things are. Oh, and we'll also look at, let me pull this up here, our predictions. Oh, there we go. Let's see how we did on our predictions after we look at the nominees here real quick. So on the website, you can come in and you can look at, you can see all the different categories. They even have stuff that we usually joke about. I know it's important to some people. It's just not important to us. The best esports team and athlete and game and content creator. We don't usually care a ton about those, but let's start. We'll work our way up. We'll look at best adaptation. We've got Devil May Cry, Last of Us Season 2, Splinter Cell Death Watch, Until Dawn, and a Minecraft movie. This one is so bad. I did try to watch it. My kids think it's funny, and that's fine. They're enjoying it. It's not meant for me. I just thought it was bad.
I forgot about Until Dawn, to be honest.
Yeah. So did I. I
Yeah.
forgot that happened.
Yeah.
I did start Splinter Cell Death Watch. I like it. I've got my critiques of it, but I do like it, and I know a lot of people love it too. So I think it's pretty cool, and I like the animation style. Super cool for Splinter Cell. So
yeah.
Anyway, so there's. Oh, let me go back here. Okay, so that's best adaptation, best multiplayer. I'm not at all surprised to see Arc Raiders. Battlefield 6 seems to be like, who needs Call of Duty? We've got Battlefield, kind of a vibe this year. It's interesting.
Good for them. Good for them.
I agree. Elden Ring Night Rain, I forget that exists, but a lot of people love it. It also has DLC coming out from what I've heard, probably next year. Peak, and then Split Fiction, of course. Sports and racing. Mario Kart World is probably the only one I really care about here. I tried Rematch. The people who made Rocket League, it wasn't really
Okay,
for
yeah.
me. Or devs of Rocket League, I think. Anyway, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, of course, part of that too. All right, best sim strategy game, Dan. Tactics is on there. Nice.
As it should be.
We've got Civ 7. I thought that was out. Was that out this year? I don't know. I didn't think that was this year. Jurassic World
Apparently.
Evolution 3, and then the Alters. Really interesting one there because, yeah, technically it's sim strategy, although it sometimes feels like action adventure the way you run around shooting. But
don't know what Tempest
family
Rising is,
game.
but it's on there. Good for them.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Family game. This is usually a Nintendo strong category, although some years like last year you got stuff like Astrobot that kind of swings in and surprises. Yeah, I got Split Fiction, Sonic Racing, Mario Kart, Lego Voyagers, which I still want to try that. It looks fun. And Lego Party, which is like Mario Party, but Legos. And of course, DK Bonanza for that one as well. Fighting game. I don't know. Have you played any fighting games this year? Any new fighting games this year? I haven't played any.
No. I think it's hilarious. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is on there. A collection of.
So is Capcom Fighting Collection too.
Yeah. Slow year for fighting games, apparently.
Slow year for fighting games. Best RPG, we got Outer Worlds 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Clair Obscur, and Avowed. Strong year for RPG games. Strong year. Now, these don't.
I mean, Monster
not
Hunter
many
Wilds
of them meet
on
like
there is.
Yeah. It's an RPG, but it's an action RPG. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I also wonder, like, did it not? Well, we'll see. I guess did it not make the action adventure categories? I don't know. It did not.
I don't know.
There you go.
Oh, well,
So here's action adventure. We've got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Indiana Jones, which missed the cut last year, but thankfully it's getting a little bit of love this year, which is cool. And Split Fiction. Huh? I think all good nominees for action adventure.
Actually confused there for a second. I was like, wait, Indiana Jones was last year, but it was at the late last year. So
yep, it was a December release.
Keeley.
Come on. Yeah. Best action game. We've got a bunch of good entries, I think. Doom Dark Ages, Battlefield 6, Hades 2, Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, Ninja Gaiden 4. I think some strong contenders for best action this year.
I really don't understand why there isn't just a best FPS game and just have.
They're just so different from non-FPS. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, because I just don't consider first-person shooters action games. But again, this is just me being nitpicky and just how I am. But
yeah,
you know,
I would love for there to be a separation for that too. I agree.
Yeah, it's just weird because first-person shooters are very popular and have been for a long time. So I just don't know why it doesn't have its own category. But
I agree. Also, almost needs to be a turn-based RPG versus action RPG because they're hard to compare the two. But
yes, yeah.
There's not enough turn-based RPGs though, Dan. They need more. Clair Obscur hopefully is gonna set a new tone for people. Yeah, totally dead. Totally. Best VR AR. I recognize Deadpool. I remember seeing the Midnight Walk. People talking about that one. Arcane Age, Ghost Town, and Alien Rogue Incursion for VR AR. Dan, mobile games, huh?
I'm out.
He's already out.
I'm immediately out.
Oh,
I'm immediately out.
He's out. Spin-offs of Destiny, Persona, Sonic, Uma Musume. I have no idea what that is. And Wuthering Waves. I have heard of that, of course. People love that game. Best debut indie. It's interesting. Only 4 games because we had the team behind. Which game was it that withdrew? It was.
Oh yeah. I can't think of it, but yeah, I forgot about that.
There was a game that withdrew from best debut because they were like, it's not really our first game. But the other ones are Blueprints, Clair Obscur, Despelote, and Dispatch.
Very noble of them. Like, you know what? We're all set. Thank you.
Oh, Megabonk.
Oh yes, okay.
saying that they've created games
Very
under
humble.
different studio names in the past and therefore felt it wasn't accurate. Which, by the way,
Hmm.
I looked up Megabunk because it was so popular. Still is. It's basically Vampire Survivors with the most wacky art style. It's just weird, silly,
Interesting.
but I'm sure it's fun. You know, it's interesting with the indie game, and we'll see this with the regular indie category too, that I don't know what the definition of indie is for the Game Awards. I know that we usually define it as like we say like a smaller game or a smaller game that feels like indie. It feels like a smaller effort. It's just not AAA. We've defined it a lot of different ways. I don't think on our podcast have ever said it can't be published by an outside publisher. It has to be self-published. But generally speaking, I think that's the definition that a lot of people have. And if that's the case, then games like Clair Obscur, as much as I love it, isn't really indie. Like Kepler is a publisher. Like they
Well,
aren't. You know
even
what I
right
mean?
there, it says created by a new independent studio. So
But what's
I guess they're not.
independent though? Like, because Raw Fury published Blueprints. So what makes the Dagubom team independent
Well, they.
if they had a publisher?
So I mean, they're publishing it, but like the studio that like made it, their hands are on it. They're the ones that created it. They're not a
True.
Ubisoft. They're not an EA. They're not an Activision. So I guess that's what it literally is. But because I mean, you do need a publisher to publish these things. It's expensive, right, to self-publish.
It is.
So
I gotta
yeah,
look up what
I guess
is.
it's just really a matter of that. I guess
So
because yeah,
typically it
indie
is
game.
it's a video considered a video game developed by individuals or small teams without financial or technological backing of a large game publisher. So I
Hmm,
think that's where I always thought it was like, regardless of your team size or what the game looks like, if you have the backing of a publisher, probably aren't technically an indie, but we might for our
sure.
podcast say, that counts. Let's leave it in there for indie. Like we might. But I look at
I think
something
it's
like
just
Clair
gotten
Obscur and I'm like, I don't know,
it's
that
gotten
doesn't
more
feel
muddled
indie
over
to
the
me.
years, maybe
It
because it's
has,
like
for sure.
games are just more expensive to make too, and like the visually, like aesthetically, when you look at Clair Obscur, like if a person's just casually seeing it, they're like, oh, that's a pretty game. Like they're probably thinking it's like a maybe something big, you know what I mean? But it's like, no, it was made by like
Yeah.
30 something people.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Agreed.
so yeah, I think
Yeah.
things have kind of
Well,
just changed.
I do think I'm glad Dispatch got a nod here. I think it should have gotten more nods.
Yeah,
Now that I finished it, I think it's an incredible, incredible experience. Um, but I feel the same way about Clair Obscur. Absolutely incredible. And I'm not mad
yeah,
that it got nominated because it's like my favorite, but it still makes you kind of scratch your head a little bit. Like it's interesting that Clair Obscur is as a debut indie. Okay, it is a great debut game though, regardless of whether or not you think it's indie. Speaking of indie,
yeah,
we've got Hollow Knight, Clair Obscur, Hades, Blueprints, Ball X Pit, and Absalom as best overall independent game of the year. I have played, if not completed, but I've definitely played all of these to some extent, some more than others, of course.
yeah,
They're all great. These are all really good nominees. Yeah, I like all
yeah,
these games.
sure.
So good choices there. Community support. This has more to do with how they communicate than anything else. I didn't realize Final Fantasy 14. You've usually given me an update every year that people seem to really love the way that they support that game. So I assume people are
Yeah,
happy with it still.
they
Um,
communicate often. You know, they're very transparent about things. So
Baldur's Gate 3, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky also bringing up that category. And then ongoing, which is similar but different because it's actually what you're doing to the game itself. Again, No Man's Sky, Helldivers 2, Fortnite, and Final Fantasy 14. But then now you've got Marvel Rivals tossed in there as well. So yeah, all these games get so many updates regularly. So it makes sense that they're in here
yeah,
for this. But all right. And then up next, we've got games for impact, which the idea is typically it's pretty broad, but the definition, in case you're curious, some people think like, oh, does this just mean most woke game? Like, no, the definition is that it's thought provoking or pro social meaning. So technically, it could mean that according to some people, it's a woke game. That's fine, but that's not
get your
necessarily
feelings out
what
of my
puts it in here.
games.
I think it's thought provoking, and I think that's why South of Midnight is a good pick here too. I didn't play any of these other ones. I didn't
Mhm.
play Consume Me or Despelot or Records Bloom and Rage or Wanderstop. I'm sure they're all great. I remember seeing things about Lost Bloom and Rage, Lost Records and Wanderstop. But I did play and complete South of Midnight earlier this year, and it was thought provoking. It not about a whole bunch of different things about family and about loss and about this really unique culture that's right here in our country and that Southern Louisiana Bayou culture that I just don't know a ton about. So I just thought it was like the lore of all that was really fascinating to me. So I loved it. I thought it was great. So yes, thought provoking. I didn't feel like it was pro social. It was about a family. So
Tim,
anyway,
none of these people know what any of that is. They're all just mad.
I know they don't. I know.
They're all just mad.
I agree. But I mean, if you were to ask me what games go in here, it would all be thought provoking games, and
Yeah.
it would probably be what are the games that made me feel the most, or like I had to have a tough decision or whatever. Like those are the kind of games I'd put in here.
Yeah.
But impact's going to mean different things to different people, and that's okay. We're not in charge of this award show. Accessibility. Ubisoft always does a good job with this. So Assassin's Creed Shadows is in there. So is Atomfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, the latest EA soccer game, and South of Midnight as well for the options they offer to you as you play for accessibility. All right, best performance. We've got 3 Claire Obscure performers in here. We've got Ben Starr, who plays Verso, Charlie Cox, who plays Gustav, and we've got Jennifer English, who plays Mael. And then you've got Konatsu Kato, who plays, I forget the character's name, in Silent Hill F. I don't know if you know what her name is in that game.
I can't remember her name.
You've got Erika Ishii, who plays Atsu. Yeah, it should. She plays Atsu in Ghost of Yote, and then Troy Baker, who played Indiana Jones in the Indiana Jones game. To me, I actually wouldn't be mad if Troy won, even though I love Claire Obscure way more than the game Indiana Jones. But Troy Baker became Harrison Ford. It was crazy, like an actual crazy good performance. But I think all of these people did great. There's even people from the game Dispatch and other games that I think also did great this year. I think the lead who played Henry in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 should have gotten a nod here. I think he's incredible. There's a bunch of others that I think have done a great job this year, but I have no issue with the nominees here. It's a good list. A lot of good performances this year.
The Baldur's Gate 3 year. Didn't they have 2 or 3 of the voice actors on it?
I think they did. Including Jennifer English, I think, right? Because she was, what's her name?
Yeah. Shadowheart,
yeah. So, and I did see a quote from Charlie Cox. He basically was just like, this shouldn't be me. Like, the guy who did the motion capture for this is what made the character Gustav, which I thought was cool of him to say that. That there's a French actor who actually does a few voices in the game as well, including Esquier. He's the one who did the motion capture for most of the male characters in the game.
Oh.
But,
okay.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Best audio design: Silent Hill F, Ghost of Yote, Death Training 2, Claire Obscure, and Battlefield 6 for best audio design. Best score and music: we've got Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Hades 2, Claire Obscure, Ghost of Yote, and Death Stranding 2. From what I haven't heard all those soundtracks, I've heard most of them, and they are amazing. So, again, to me, I'm partial to stuff like I think you mentioned it. DK's music is incredible. DK Bonanza.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 music is out of this world. So good. And there's a bunch of other. Doom soundtrack is amazing. The Dark Ages, really good tunes in that as you're running around shooting things. So there's lots that could have been worthy, but these aren't bad picks either, of course. These are all incredible picks.
I'm not mad at Ghost of Yotai there, but and I don't think the music is bad or the score is bad by any means. It just, when I'm thinking of that game, that's not when I'm the score and the music. It's just thematically fits what it is. You know what I mean?
Right. I do like the inclusion of music with her playing the instrument, the guitar-like instrument there.
Yes.
So they use music in some clever ways there. But I'm with you. It's a really beautiful, swelling, cinematic score that didn't necessarily stand out to me, which isn't a bad thing. It doesn't have to stand out to me. But if you were to play me music from it, I bet you I couldn't tell you if it was from Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ghost of Tsushima, or Ghost of Yote. I probably couldn't tell you which is which. And they're all very quality, but they are all kind of meant to blend into the experience. So it's not a knock on it at all. But if you play me a song from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or from DK Bonanza or some of these other, even Hell Is Us has a couple of tunes that I'm like, dang, that was pretty good. So anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on, we've got Best Art Direction. These names are starting to sound familiar. Dan, Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silk Song.
I don't think Claire Obscura got enough nominations, if I'm going to be honest.
I don't
it got
think it
enough.
did either. 12 is child's play. I know they broke the record, but they should have shattered the record. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Should have been in every category.
But-
Literally everyone. Sports, also.
Yeah.
You know, just every single one.
I mean, I would have liked to see something like South of Midnight get a little bit of attention here. You know, there's some others too this year that kind of jumped out to me with their art direction, but hey, that's okay. I don't have anything against any of these games. I think they all have great looks to them. Yeah, all very beautiful games in their own right. Best narrative, again, getting familiar. Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F, which is cool to see that one get a couple of nods. It's nice to see Konami making games, right? Not just pachinko. It's nice.
Yes.
They're making games.
Yeah, it's shocking. So I don't know what this timeline is, but I'll take it.
I'll take it too. Yeah, same here. Yeah, there's nothing that I would say shouldn't be on here based on what I know of them. I had never played Death Stranding 2, of course, or Silent Hill F, but I've heard great things about the stories. Yeah, I'll say it again. I think Dispatch should have gotten a nod here. It's an amazing story. And the way that it can develop over time. It's a really creative setting too. But I'm not saying it's better than any one of these here. Maybe these 5 deserve a spot over that one or others that I would think of. But yeah. All right. And then Best Game Direction, Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Split Fiction, which I'm glad that Joseph No Filter got a nod here.
He's got to have his moment to shine, Tim. You know, he's got to have his moment to shine.
Great direction on that one. Some really creative stuff that you do throughout the game, and then especially as you get to this final mission. It's just unbelievable. Like really, really good direction as you go back and forth between these worlds. It's really good. So yeah, no qualms with any of that stuff either. I'm partial to Kingdom Come Deliverance too, so I probably would have put that in there because that to me feels like a movie in a lot of moments as you're playing it. I think it was directed brilliantly. So I would have put it in there, but I don't know what I would have kicked out. I'm not saying I would have kicked anything out, but and then overall game of the year, again, familiar names, except for one I didn't really expect. So we got Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza got on this list, and then Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Listen, I'm not saying it doesn't belong, but I was a little surprised. But I am glad that they have a mix of a nice variety here. Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I mean, these are great games. I don't know if I'd be too surprised if some of these won. I just feel like it's between Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, and maybe Hades 2. I feel like it's those 3 kind of sitting at the top.
I think Silk Song has more of a fervor.
Hades could be. 2. Yeah.
Not to say that Hades 2 is, not important, but
yeah, I'm probably overestimating I'm kind of going based on who's voting. And Hades 2 has the highest average by far of review scores. That doesn't mean people are going to vote for it though.
Yeah.
And then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is one of my personal faves, but I'm just glad it got nominated, man. That's great that it got to the big show. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
Such a good game.
I definitely think Bonanza and Kingdom Come are like the underdogs in this category, unfortunately.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. These 4 are the heavier hitters, just in terms of the popularity and who would usually win something like this. It's going to be, and I think they're all deserving in their own right. But we'll make our predictions on that next week because the show is on December 11th. So we'll make our predictions for winners for these categories next week. By the way, speaking of predictions, let's take a quick look at our chart here. What did we predict? So the quick version is that Jeff, who we filled in all of his answers for him, just as a joke, everyone, relax. Got 6 points, but not really. Tim and Dan perpetually tied for second. Yeah, we did. I think that's happened a few times where we both kind of take a shot. Yeah, we take a shot at something, but shouldn't have, We got 14 points out of 19 total possible. And Kyle got 17.
Kyle's just always cheating. He's always cheating. Juking the stats.
Yeah,
Juking the stats.
the main one that I missed on was narrative. I put both Split Fiction and Dispatch in there, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, I guess Split Fiction as a story isn't the most compelling, but as an experience, it's very compelling. So I understand why it didn't get nominated there. And maybe for Dispatch, for some people, it wasn't finished yet, number one. But number two, maybe that storyline isn't going to click for some people like it did for me. So anyway, I should have gone with the safe bets, Should have done the safe bets, but I didn't. And then Dan, for you, you had picked Ninja Gaiden 4 and DK Bonanza for score and music. That was the one that I think you took the bigger swings on. And
which
didn't come
both
back.
belong on there, but whatever.
Dan, I just want to point out before we close out, we've talked about AI a few times. ChatGPT got 100% correct.
Oh my God. And this is why we can't trust AI. They're just going to come in. They're going to take over. Yeah. We're all just going to be batteries like in the Matrix. We're going to be human batteries being consumed by the machines. And, Keanu Reeves is going to have to save us. So.
Yep. Yeah. So next week we'll make our predictions for the show, and also next week, hopefully, be talking a little bit about Metroid Prime 4 as well. So I'm looking forward to giving some thoughts on that game, and also for Octopath Traveler 0. We have a lot to talk about next week. So we got predictions to make. We got 2 major releases to discuss, and it might just be you and me again, Dan. We'll see. We'll see how the schedules of everyone else shakes out. But that's okay. I know you're going to want to talk about Octopath. I'm going to want to talk about Metroid Prime. So maybe I don't want anyone else here. Maybe I want another fireside chat.
I need the room. I need the whole room. I'm just for hours. Just talk hours and hours.
Everyone, shut up. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, dude. Thanks for being here. Thanks to you and Kyle also for covering last week while I was out. I'm still feeling the remnants, a little bit of the cloggedness, but nowhere near as out of commission.
I'm an asshole. I completely forgot to ask if you're you sound like you obviously feel better. So
yeah, I still have a little bit of the raspy throat and a little bit clogged, but it's been several days since I've felt sick. I've just kind of had the remnants where every once in a while I'm like, ugh, I gotta go blow my nose or clear my throat. But mostly been fine. It was like a 3-day stretch of just I don't want to be alive anymore. That kind of feeling.
Sure.
Yeah, just take me now.
It
was pretty rough.
It's not fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of wives call it the man flu, which I get offended by because I do not whine that much when I'm sick. I whined to you guys, but no, here at home I was doing my stuff. I was helping out.
Yeah, you know what? I just kind of I'm just kind of like, oh, I feel like crap. Listen, I love my wife, but she definitely complains more than I do.
Yeah. Yeah,
the man flu. You have a baby about it.
The man flu is something that I've heard a lot of wives talk about, where the guys play it up to be worse than it is, and I'm like, the most I do is I just want to sleep in a little longer. That's about it. Other than that, I usually still get up and do all the things, Or if she offers to make me tea, I'll say yes. So if that's me whining, then guilty, guilty.
Make your own goddamn tea, just like
Sid, yeah. Yeah. Hey, no better way to end an episode than with the classic Sid quote. Yep. We got it. We got this one in the bag. Hey, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me and Dan for this Thanksgiving fireplace, which is that's a huge fire hazard. Yeah, it is. Wait, wrong way. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's nice. Very nice. All right. Thank you all for watching, listening. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.